Dr. DIY's channel. In today's video, we are going to demonstrate an important tutorial on how to paint your house wall correctly and effectively. Okay, so you are looking here today at the interior of the house wall paint. As you can see, the paint is in a bad shape. Okay, the paint is chipping off. You can see here, it's chipping off, it's cracking. You have surface crack and it's chipping off with respect to time. So if you would like to put a wallpaper, it will not serve any purpose because the wallpaper will not hold good. It will just drop due to the poor adhesive between the paint and the wall. And why this happen is because during the purchase of the house, many developers tend to save costs. What they will do, in the paint, they will dilute some sort of element called as chalk substance. Okay, it's a white type of element which is used to mix in cement to make a cement become sticky, to plaster the wall, to make it smooth before you actually paint it. Okay, so after you lay the bricks, you plaster the wall, so you use a cement to make sure the cement stick on the wall. They add some sort of chalk solution. This chalk solution, if you put it in the paint over time, what will happen is the paint will not bond well with the wall. Okay, and it will cause the paint to crack and to chip off due to the nature of the paint being mixed with chalk solution, and due to the nature of this wall being subjected to heat and the environment from the outside. Okay, so when this hall is heated and then it becomes cold, it becomes hot, becomes cold, because in Malaysia we got a climate of hot and cold. Okay, raining season and all that, so it will modify the properties of the paint, and this is what is going to happen. So we need to solve this problem. It is a very intense job because before you can paint, you need to scrape the entire wall to remove all this. So the wall is very high. You see, this entire wall need to be scraped, right? So obviously we need to close those places which we are not going to deal with. Why? Because when we do the scraping, a lot of dust, debris is going to be generated, and it's going to affect the whole house. Whole house is going to be dusty because there are people living in the house now, right? And it is not good for the breath. So we need to take necessary precautions to close up areas where it is not subjected to the works of scraping. So what are the first thing we need to do before painting? We need to scrape this wall to remove all the exterior paint. Okay, so if you note, you can also do a simple check in your house. How are you going to do a simple check? A check to make sure there is no any chalk solution mixed in your paint during the purchase of your house. Okay, so this house has been purchased in about 2013 and is about 7 years old. The paint is about 7 years old now. Obviously, when you buy the house, you will not see all these defects because these defects will come over time when the paint ages. Okay, so simply take your hand, put it on the wall, and you do this. You just rub it. Okay, you just rub your hand on the wall, and then you look at your hand. Okay, if you find there is some white source of powder or some debris on your wall, simply indicates that the paint has been mixed with chalk and you need to do something. Okay, in this case I have, okay, let's do at the bottom here. I have all this white elements and debris coming out. You can see, you need not to do that also because you can see the wall itself is badly damaged. So we need to scrape this, and we need to carry out the work according to the procedure. So just to summarize the procedure, which we will document along the way once the wall is painted. Okay, first thing first is to remove the paint. Once you remove the paint, then you check the wall for any physical hairline cracks. You need to fill up with a filler. Then you need to smoothen it by means of abrasive sandpaper. Okay, with some sort of different grades which we will show you later. After that, wipe the wall clean, free it from any dust. When the wall is clean, you apply an undercoat, white color, one layer. Okay, once you apply an undercoat, let it dry for 1 day, and then you apply the color of your choice to the wall. Okay, so it can be a gloss type wall paint color, it can be a non-gloss type. There are many types available. So once you apply the color type, it will be the first layer. Wait until it dries for about 1 day, and then you apply the final coat of the color, the same color of your choice, and you are basically done with the wall paint job, right? And once it dries, then you observe for any defects, meaning which if there is overlapping of paint, or there is some places where you did not cover, so you just take the brush and you just do the touch up, right? So that is the whole procedure what we are going to do with this wall now, right? So stay tuned and hope it gives you an upper hand on managing your wall paint and to carry out relevant tasks, and I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so continuing to the video, guys, please bear in mind that the consumption of electricity will also reduce if your wall paint is properly taken care of. How can that be? Very simple. If your wall paint is effective, right, it will act as an insulation layer, meaning which the heat from outside will eventually have higher resistance to penetrate the wall, since most of the paint today are UV resistant, heat resistant, right, water resistant, and so forth. So obviously, before protecting the inner surface of your wall with the correct paint, your outer surface need to be also protected. So normally the outer surface is painted with a paint which is a weather-borne resistant, up to 5 to 6 years protection depending on the nature or the brand of the paint which you have purchased. In this case, the outer part of the wall has been painted with a weather-borne paint, whereby the procedure is the same which I'm going to do it for the inside wall. It's just that the type of paint differs. For outside, we are using weather-borne type of paint, and the sealer or the primary coat or the undercoat, we are using a latex type of sealer. So it forms a thin shield on the surface of the wall outside to efficiently prevent any water leaks into the house when there is a rain or a heavy rain subjected to the outer surface of the wall, right? You may use a normal type of undercoat, right? But bear in mind, if there is a heavy downpour or a heavy rain from outside, you will see the inner surface of your wall to be slightly wet or damp during heavy rain. Okay, this is due to the fact that water is seeping through in the tiny pores or holes in the wall, eventually making your wall inside wet and damp. And if this is not being addressed, what you will have, algae growth, patches of yellow marks inside your house, right? eventually the paint will chip off even though you are using a very good paint. Okay, so you need to make sure the outside surface is well protected before you can actually tackle the inside surface, right? And if you have any cracks on the outside surface, you have to mend those cracks by filling up with anti-resistant water leaks properties. Okay, the adhesive should be waterproof, meaning which the sealant you use or you apply should be waterproof, so that it will prevent water from going through these hairline cracks and coming into the inside the wall of your house. So that is done. So now we are going to focus now inside of the wall of the house. Okay, so stay tuned and look or monitor the procedure of the works, how the paint job will be carried out. Metal sheet, the metal piece. Okay, then you remove, you just loosen up these 3 screws. This Phillips screw, right? And there's a nut there. You just loosen up because it's a holder. You see, it's holding the plate. And I have replaced it with a normal plate cutter. This is your standard plate cutter, which is easily available in 10 pieces in a box. Okay. So this plate cutter, I think the width is about 1 inch. You got the small one and the big one. This is the big one. Okay. So this plate cutter, you slowly insert it in the small opening here, and you tighten up the 3 screws, and you will get a relatively sharp edge here, which you can use to remove the paint. Okay, so how are we going to actually remove the wall paint from the wall? So as you can see, the entire wall paint has been cracked or stripped. Okay, so this is the entire wall has been removed. You might be thinking it's quite a work. Yes, it is a quite of a work, but there is a trick behind it. Okay, so in Dr. DIY's channel, so we are all about providing solutions for the better lifestyle, okay, to ease your daily task. So how are we going to strip the paint? So this is the scraper, right? If you scrape the paint, yes, it will come out, but a lot of effort need to be placed. Not only that, your blade should be sharp. When your blade is sharp, eventually the paint will be coming out easily, but as far as you keep scraping, the blade will eventually become blunt, and you will see that you need to apply more force to scrape out the paint. So in order for you to scrape the paint easily as possible, since this is a water-based paint, all you need to do is just spray water. In this case, I have pre-mixed with 40% of soap and 10% of disinfection. Okay, you can put some Dettol inside there. So once you have done that, and then you mix it with water, you just have to spray on the wall, right? Just give a little bit of, make the wall wet, and then you just wait like about 1 minute or so. Just make about 1 minute or so. okay, until you see the paint or the water is already being absorbed in the wall, or you can see the wall is a bit damp, right? Now, obviously the ideal situation is you need to get to the virgin surface of the wall, which is the cement, right? But it is very hard. Can you see? It is very hard because the base paint is quite strong and is still adhering well to the wall, right? But try your best to remove as much as possible the base paint. Okay, by looking at this you will be thinking that the wall is rough, it is not smooth, but actually it's smooth. Okay, the wall is smooth because we have already sand paper using a abrasive paper. So now the wall is a bit damp. Slowly place this. You can see the paint comes out very easily. You can see the blade. So okay, so let's concentrate on one area. Let's focus on this part here. Okay, so you can see it comes out very nicely. I'm just using one hand to remove the paint. So the paint has came out. You look at the blade, right? This method will also reduce the amount of dust generated while removing the paint. Okay, if you don't put water and you scrape the paint, there will be a lot of dust produced. Okay, so eventually water will eliminate this dust from coming out, okay, and making it better for you to work in and not so messy your environment, right? Second, what about the scratches? Okay, these are all hairline cracks, which is common in most of the wall after they have cement it. So normally what they will do is, once the wall is already being cement, you lay the bricks obviously, then you cement it, or they call it plaster. Once the plaster have already hardened, you will have these hairline cracks due to the brittle nature of this cement or plaster. After that, what they will do is they will apply another white coat on the cement, and this is called skimming process. This white coat or this skimming process will basically put a thin layer of smooth white cement paste on the wall to remove or to seal up all these cracks. Bear in mind, this layer is not strong. This layer is pure chalk. Okay, so you need to buy the good quality. If you buy the bad quality or the cheap one, it will tend to come out in the future. Okay, in the long run it will tend to come out. So in this case, we are not going to use any skimming method. I have only used the filler where the cracks are very bad, okay, which is very visible. Okay, which is very visible. Let me show you. As you can see, right, so I have a patch there, a patch there, and a large patch there. Why? Because the amount of cement came out was a lot, so I had to skim. So I had to skim here. After skimming it, I apply a putty, a special type of putty, and the putty is this. This is the putty, multi-purpose joint compound. Okay, so it's white in color, right? It's white in color. It's like a paste. You just take this by means of plastic scraper. Okay, let me just demo to you a bit. So you just take it a bit. Look for surfaces where the crack is very obvious. So in this case, I think I found one here now. Okay, so maybe this crack. So what you can do is you just apply on the crack like this. As you can see, apply with a gradual pressure inwards. Once you have applied it now, let it dry. Once you have already dried, then you take an abrasive paper. In this case, I got a holder and I got an abrasive paper of grade. What grade am I using? This is grade 240. Okay, remember, the lower the number, the more rough the abrasive paper will be and the more material it will remove, right? So you don't want to go too rough, because if it's very rough, you might leave scars on the wall. Okay, so 240 or 300 is just nice. Okay, so once you get this, and assuming where you apply the putty have already dried, just take this and you just go about it until you see you have a smooth surface. Okay, after that, you take a wet cloth, you wipe it off, and your surfaces now is ready to be painted. The first layer undercoat, which is known as the primary latex sealer, which we will show you when we are doing it, when we are applying it. Okay, so now basically it's more on the surface preparation. So once the putty has been done, we have already sandpaper the wall is smooth. The final thing you want to do is to get rid of all the dust. Okay, as you can see, okay, my glove at this part here is black. Okay, so if I do this, so you can see the black part here become white. You don't want to apply your paint when your wall is full of dust, because the paint will not stick. If it stick, it will never last you. So you must make sure it is free from this dust. How you want to make it free? You got to wipe it with a damp cloth, or with maybe you can spray and then you wipe it. In this case, we are using a 3M microfiber towel. So in this case, we are using a 3M Scotch-Brite mop pad. Okay, so this mop pad will be made wet, okay, semi-wet to be more precise, and then it will be applied or will be placed at the base or the holder of that, and we will do the cleaning. So once the mat is on the base of the mop, okay, you just have to go section by section, right? Remember, don't clean the entire wall with only one time or using one pad. Okay, you want to clean, for example, focus like 2 feet by 2 feet in area. Okay, after that, remove this pad, rinse it, and continue for another section 2 by 2 in 2 by 2 feet, right? The entire wall. So the coverage area is up to you, right? So it is better to have a few of these pads, okay, so you can work faster, right? It's all about just changing the pads in the time interval which you set. So what we are going to do now is we are going to clean the wall and get ready for the undercoat layout. Okay, so we are ready to apply the first layer of paint onto the wall. The wall is already been prepared now. So the first layer, it will be a sealer. Okay, so this is a special weather shield sealer. You may use a normal undercoat, but if you want further protection, maybe you can go for this, right? So this is from Dulux. So now basically you can see the output. This is the coat. One drum is about 250 ringgit. This is 20 liters. Okay, so we are now mixing the paint. We are not going to dilute, we are going to use it as is. So we are using this, we are using this to mix the paint evenly. Okay, slowly mix. Okay, so the first layer of undercoat has been painted, as you can see. Okay, so the first layer of undercoat has been painted. Now this has been dried. We left it for about 1 day. So the wall is basically sealed. You can see, okay, it's sealed with this undercoat. Okay, this is a special type of undercoat. It is a white color sealer. Okay, it acts as a thin layer of latex. Okay, so if you peel, it will basically peel off in a layer. Okay, so this is a very good sealer. It is a thin type of latex shield on the wall. Okay, normally they use these on the exterior wall, not on the interior, but we are using it as an interior because we have scraped the paint till the virgin surface of the cement. Okay, so to further protect the cement or the wall, so we are using this sealer. Now you can apply your selected color. Okay, so in this case we are applying now the selected color. Okay, this is a gloss type of paint, water based paint. Okay, meaning which if the wall is dirty or anything, grease or dirt or any pencil marks and all that, you may just use a wet cloth and just wipe it, it will come off clean. Okay, so this is a Carolina strand. Okay, Dulux Ambience Pearl Glow. So we are going to apply now a first layer of this color to the wall. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to take the paint and to paint at the edges where the roller brush is not able to reach. So once the edges is done, then we are going to go by the roller brush. So we are going to finish up for the whole wall and leave it to dry for about 1 day, and we can paint the second and the final layer upon drying the first layer. Stay tuned. Okay, so this is a DIY tool. Okay, so it is made of polyurethane supported by a PVC pipe. You can tilt the angle. Okay, so currently it's at an angle, and at the side here is actually a used wiper blade. Okay, it's a rubber material. So what is this for? This is for painting the wall right up to the ceiling without touching the ceiling, because the wall paint is a bit like beige color, ceiling is white. So since we do not have the scaffolding, so we are going to use this to put it against the ceiling and to use the roller brush to paint the beige wall. Okay, so this is the final view after painting the whole interior wall. You can see the surface of the wall is well protected by the paint. So you can see the difference in the paintwork. Okay, because this is a beige type of color, that is a white color for the plaster ceiling, right? So this is the outcome of the paint. Okay, so all the gaps has been properly filled up with the filler. Okay, the skimming mark, initially this wall here has been skimmed. Okay, because there was a very bad chipping off of cement, so it is not obvious at all now because it has been properly polished using a abrasive sandpaper of grade 260, and then surface has been cleaned. So this is the final outcome. You might be wondering why is all this not open. Okay, because we are going to continue to the other half, because you can see the paint. So we have only painted till the hall, so this side is future works.
Okay guys, I hopefully the video gives you some information, and please subscribe and like and comment down below till we meet again. Bye.